Well, as always, please make sure that you get interactive with me. A very good friend of mine is already interacting with me. They are watching me currently live at the Bolga branch of Stanbic Bank. And good morning to you, all members of that branch, Stanbic Bank, Bolga, and also to you, Jabbar Mahama. I hope that you're good, you're nice. Since we met at the airport, we haven't met again. You should invite me over. And Jabbar Mahama, Stanbic Bank, Bolga branch, have a great morning as well as your colleagues. But let's look at what stories there are. The front and back pages of the various newspapers. We start with the Daily Graphic. It has on the front page, Chief Justice designates 17 courts to handle electoral disputes. Chief Justice Oyade Pao. Just think about it. I think that she's being futuristic, but also predicting that anything can happen. Or perhaps a lot more things can happen. Kudeo raises red flag over election 2016, and Albert Kofiahin, national coordinator of Kudeo, who used to be a former director of elections for the Electoral Commission, though, is there. And DKM customers also received part of deposits, but I should say they were not happy with the amount of monies that were given to them, because some of them claimed that they had deposited so much, but were getting little for their investments. Sometimes, Charlie. Anyway, private sector collaboration needed for agricultural transformation, according to ministry. And those are the stories we have on the front back page of the newspaper, the Daily Graphic. We should also inform you is the most widely circulated newspaper. On the center spread of the newspaper, the President John Dramani Mahama took his campaign to the Volta region. And President Mahama inaugurates Pando Water Supply Expansion Project. So the president is there. And he had been telling the people of the Volta region that it's not true that the NDC had not done anything in the Volta region, contrary to what their political opponents said. We don't know. You are the best judges. Front page of the Ghanaian Times. Imani bags ECG sale. Psychiatric patients to pay more. Woman arrested over journalist death. But currently we're told that the police are having the intention of releasing her. Used to be the partner, or is a partner of the late gentleman. DKM client protests over payment and threaten legal action. Depends on which one you're looking at. We take our countdown from the Electoral Commission, and they have 49 days to the election. The Ghanaian Times says in 50 days. I guess counting down to the day. Butchers go to school to learn better ways of handling meat. You have a picture there of Dr. Hannah Louisa Bissell. Inserted there, we have course in disaster risk management opening. And you have those highlights on the back page of the Ghanaian Times. Let's look at Daily Dispatch newspaper. It has on the front page, 2016 elections is do or die, according to the MPP. MPP will guard ballot boxes with armed civilians. A story attributed to the Northern Region chairman of the MPP, Bugre Nabu. Also inside, NDC will win elections bold style, according to Mahama. And those are the stories we have. So you get to the back page, you have the full details of the story there. The next paper we're looking at is the Finder. The Finder has on the front page, I'll show you in a bit, my earpiece worrying me. It says the Finder has on the front page, ignore MPP, JM. NDC are greedy. That's about me also for the MPP. So kind of giving everybody space on the front page. I love this. It's my front page newspaper for the morning. The Finder front page. Great. Nice. We also look at the next newspaper, the Financial Post. It says that electronic money regulations ready. And then we have other stories there as well. You have the Economy Times, government's first dollar bond heavily oversubscribed, IMF warns of further external shocks, and government accused of mishandling donor funds. Other stories are also there. Then we have the Daily Statesman, has on the front page, Mahama blows $6 million on tax force for a Chinese loan. Family and friends grabbing garlands. La youth angry. And we have other stories there. But front page of the Daily Guide, $5 million Abacha cash. NDC chasing me, says Rollins. Kumfi NDC chairman defects to MPP, and his name is Eko Isrifi Bokman. And then we have 3 drag EC to court. I always look at the center spread of the Daily Guide. It has News One. It used to be a full newspaper, but they just now do it as a center spread daily. It says, Mahama drinks only water, Miss Bell. It's a story coiled from a social media post of, we know the songstress Miss Bell. Oheni Yere, I hope I was right in pronouncing that name, celebrate a year of marriage. We're talking about Gifty Auntie, known in private life, Gifty Auntie. Oheni Yere. Oheni Yere. Okay. Fred Potofi, my director, giving me conflicting pronunciations of the name. I knew that he would get it wrong. I knew. First he said Ohini Yire, now he said Ohini Yire. I'm confused, Fred. It's men's job to get rid of the used condoms. And then Shatta Wale wins Best Dance Hall Act. Let me read this one. I'm a Samini fan though, but these days I seem to be very much engrossed in the music of Shatta Wale. Shatta Wale won Best Dancehall Act at the 2016 African Music Magazine Awards, AFRIMA, held over the weekend in Dallas, Texas, United States of America. In Africa. They are organizing the awards for us in America. The African Dancehall King beat competition from Stonebwoy, Samini, Burna Boy, Buffalo Soldier, Timaya, and Pato Rankin to win the award. The award scheme organizers say the award ceremony in the diaspora is to make sure that they cater for all music genres, but not also limited to Afrobeat, Asiko, Bongo, etc., etc. Shatta Wale. Shatta Wale, Shatta Wale. You know, on his birthday, he sent a tweet to both President Mahama and then Akufo-Addo that they are playing his music. They all love him, so he needs their envelope and so a gift to commemorate his birthday. But we have to look at some other online postings as well, and we have to look at My Joy Online because it's our topmost online portal as we have. And you have other stories. It says the king of Achime Boakwa, Amwetio Foripenyin II, has summoned the former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan to his palace to resolve a long drawn-out chieftaincy dispute. And we know Kofi Annan, after him, we had Ban Ki-moon, and now we have His Excellency Guterres, former Portuguese Prime Minister. Now we also have ECOWAS to establish television radio networks for regional integration. That'll be good news. We already have a couple of them in the sub-region already. I don't know what would be the rationale, but they do have the rationale there. If NDC lovers, if NDC loves nothingness, where is the Sada money? Baumia asks. Nasikanu wahi. Next story. Death of Kumasi journalist girlfriend granted bail. And we've given you proper insight into that very story. The late journalist, again, confidence, may your soul rest in peace. The last king of Rwanda forced into exile, dying. He died in the US, age 80 years. How much was raised from sale of DKM assets? Lawyer demands to know. And we know a legal practitioner is demanding to know how. That's how much was realized from the sale of the assets of the liquidated microfinance companies, including DKM. And we know that many of them had been involved in the microfinance scandal in the U.S. currently. One of the biggest banks in America, Fargo, also involved in some scandal. Which we have its chief executive going off, but taking huge pay cuts, raising concerns. We have microfinance companies, a major challenge for financial sector, according to former finance minister, Professor Kwesi Botwe, was also a secretary for finance during the PNDC as well. We'll look at the last string of stories on the portal My Joy Online. NPP decries secret EC plans to transmit December results. And the NPP apparently has expressed grave concern about the Electoral Commission's handling of processes for the electronic transmission of the December 7 election results. And we know that they had wanted to put together or put out a tender for companies to come and do e-transmission of results, but just didn't come up. But let's look at other online portal. We'll go to City FM, and it says that we are not behind voter protests against government, according to the NPP. The NPP seem to suggest that those sectional people protesting in the Volta region were doing that out of their own volition. Nana Kunedu goes to court to compel Electoral Commission to accept her nomination. And the husband is also making the news. In the next story, it says Abacha $2 million. Well, depends on where you're reading it from. Some captured $5 million. Some gods. Let's swear and see who will be saying the truth. We should use both Christian means, technology, lie detector tests, and even the gods. I can tell you, when we bring the gods, people will swear. Africa life. Go and call the biggest pastor, Obigani. Don't mind NPP. NDC will never disappoint you. Mahama to Voltarians. We have other stories there. Let's scroll and see whether we can get some other story. Mahama inaugurates water project at Pando. And then Mahama also assuring people. It says, we haven't overspent 2016 budget. We have other stories as well. Let's go to the Africa page of the BBC. And the Africa page of the BBC has a lead story. South Sudan's Riek Machar vows to return. And we know that he's the first vice president of the latest African independent country, South Sudan. But somehow you can't just stay in this country because he believes he's being forced out, haunted by his boss. And we know that, a coalition of factions and fighters who came together to form the government. And if you listen to a BBC interview on him this morning, he said they had used some of the best weaponry, tanks, drones, etc., to try to force him out of his location. And he was asked why shouldn't he just resign and be free? He says, well, he's still the first vice president of South Sudan. Let's go. Africans, we like power. Power. Kajiko. Last king of Rwanda dies, age 80. Nigeria jihadist prison attack contained. And then we have free Chibok girls reunite with families. But we have a Nigerian footballer shot dead. Izu Joseph apparently dying after being shot in the south of the country. Our condolences to his family. We're talking about football, etc. That's where we have to wrap up because